What is up, YouTube knife community? Back again. Today I've got a video that I've never done before, and this is going to be a top 10 video. And this is my top 10 acquisitions of 2019. Some of these will surprise people, but it is what it is. First up is a couple of budget knives. I've never been huge on budget knives, but at the later part of this year, I feel myself getting into them a little more. So first up is a Civivi Backlash, and this one was sent to me by Gear Toward Gear, and it was OD green, but I dyed it black. Excellent knife, performs well. The geometry is awesome on this knife, as you guys well know. Absolutely love it. Next up is another Civivi. This almost instantly became one of my favorite knives. This one is spectacular deploying and fidget friendly. I can do it left-handed, right-handed, well, as I feel. Thumb, flipper, however you want to do it. This knife deploys very smooth. Running on bearings, excellent. Love the G10, layered G10 that they did on that knife. Spectacular knife. Fell in love with it almost immediately. Next up, Kurt turned me on to manly knives this year, and this one has been one of my favorites ever since. The Manly Wasp. This one happens to be an S90V, but just an excellent knife. It's a smaller knife, but as you see, I can get a full four-finger grip on it. Again, geometry is awesome on this knife. It's thin, it's a slicer, doesn't take up much room in the pocket. Love that knife. Next up is a cold steel. This is the American Lawman. This one's in CTS XHP. This is still on loan from Kurt, but I plan to pick one up sometime soon. I gotta finish the testing and get this back to him. But yeah, this is one of my favorite cold steels that I've tried this year. The ergos are awesome. Small footprint in the pocket. The triad lock works beautifully. It performs, and it's just a beautiful knife. I love it. So there's that one. Another cold steel. This one instantly became one of my favorites. The 8010. Love everything about this knife. It's not the best EDC option. I do carry it from time to time as EDC, but this knife is my go-to if I go out into the woods, camping or bushcrafting or whatever. Of course, I put another knife on my hip, but that one always goes. Next up, this one falls on this list because of the steel. I'm not a huge fan of the paramilitary platform, whether it be a 3 or a 2 or whatever, but Maximet is obviously my favorite steel, and this one performs great. I love it. It's fidget friendly. Put the deep carry clip on it, sanded the scales. Just, it's an awesome knife, and it performs great. Maximet. Next up is another Maximet knife, and this is my Mannix in Maximet that Kurt redid for me. So this one's got sentimental value, but not only that, it's a performer. This knife is excellent. Ergos, love the ergos on the Mannix platform. Love the locking mechanism. Just a beautiful knife. Love it. Maximet is awesome, guys. If you haven't tried it, you need to. So that one falls right there. Next up, I'm going to bring in a couple honorable mentions. First up, the only reason these aren't on my top 10 list is because I haven't had a lot of pocket time. But my buddy Dave just sent me this one, and I absolutely love it. The Civivi Praxis. So if you look, there's 3 Civivis on this list. This became one of my favorite knives quickly. Civivi is killing it. They're unmatched in this price point. The gold liners bother some people. They don't bother me. I don't care about that. The clip, all Civivi clips are excellent. They recess the screws. They don't recess the actual tab on the clip, but it doesn't really get in the way. I never have any trouble out of it. This knife is lightweight for its size, and the blade is ground fairly thin. It's not as thin as the Backlash or the Shredder, but I still love it. It still performs. It still slices. Excellent knife. Honorable mention number 1. Honorable mention number 2 is another one that I just recently got, and it was another gift. And this one is from my buddy Ben over at Blade Banker. If you haven't checked him out, go check him out. His giveaway is almost over. This is the Pena X Series Rhinos Rhino Re-Op build M390, full titanium. The best milled pocket clip I've ever had in my hand. The thumb studs are excellent. No jimping. You can creep up in this tool. You gotta be super careful, but you can do it. The grip on this knife fits my hand excellent, perfect. There's no hot spots. Just barely enough for 4-finger grip, but I love it. It's a beautiful knife. The flipper tab works amazing. It's just a great knife. Love it. So thank you, Ben, for that. I absolutely love that knife. Next up is a Hogue. I just picked this one up recently, but it automatically fell into my favorites. The ergos on this thing are gorgeous. Love it. Thinly ground blade, thin stock and thinly ground. Ambidextrous for anybody that wants to carry one. Lightweight, steel tough. The clip at first bothered me, but now the clip, I'm getting used to it. It doesn't bother me at all. Absolutely love this knife. So that one definitely falls into my favorites of the year. Next up, these last two knives are going to surprise some people because of where I put them at on this list. But I've had both of these knives for a while, and I've kicked them around. I've carried both. I've went back and forth. One's my favorite. One, then the next week another one will be my favorite. But right now, this is where they fall. And number 9 is the M4 Freak. Super Freak. Love this knife. I put the mini deep carry on it. It's bent a little bit, but I wear super thick work jeans, and a lot of clips don't work. So I bent this one just a little bit. But anyway, it's still, everything about this knife is perfect. The action is beautiful. Mine came with 0 blade play. Mine came right down the hatch. Perfect centering. Love it. The coating doesn't bother me. I usually don't like coating, but on this knife I like it. They put a thin coat on it. It just works good. Yeah, some people say that it wears off too quick, but if you use your knives, any coating's gonna wear off. But this one, the balance on this knife is unbelievable. In the hand, it feels great. Ergos are spectacular. Absolutely love this knife. But that's my number 9 knife. Now, my favorite knife that I picked up this year is, like I said, it's going to surprise people that the M4 didn't beat this one out. Up until recently, I've not been a huge fan of 20CV and M390 and all those steels, mostly because production companies don't do them right. But Hogue is doing an excellent job with 20CV. Most of the ones that Kurt's tested has been around 61, 61 and a half. Most other companies are hitting around 58 to 59. And 58 to 59 20CV will, Chris Reeves S35VN will whip that crap. I promise. I've tested them. I know S35VN done well will beat M390 any day of the week that is done poorly, or 20CV. But luckily, Hogue is doing a good job on these, and this knife is spectacular. Definitely my favorite one that I picked up this year. The G10 is awesome. It's a good hand-feeling knife. Ergos are excellent. They done the jimping just right. It's not super aggressive. It won't eat your thumb off. And in and out of the pocket, it slides right in, comes right out. And that's a big thing to me. I don't like to have to fidget with my pocket or whatever. I like to be able to just slide that knife right down in there and get back to work. But these knives are just that. They do what their intended purpose is. They're an excellent user-friendly knife. Hogue does a great job on factory edges. They take them to a 15 grit micron finish. They start out at 280 grit. I don't think there's much fatigue steel on these knives. They do a great job with their grinding. They put the lanyard hole in the perfect place. Like I said, the ergos are out of this world. Love this knife. Definitely my top knife of this year. So yeah, down in the comment section, let me know what your top knife is. You can list your whole top 10 if you want. Let me know what you think of this video, the top 10 video. I probably won't do a lot of these. This is just something I thought about I should do before the end of the year. But yeah, for today, guys, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And I'll see you on the next one.